Hello students. In this video I'll be explaining on one of the important questions from your exam viewpoint, that is the components or sources of a working capital management, which means from what all the sources you can raise in your working capital management, right? So the first one what you have is the cash management, second one inventory management, and third one it is the account receivable management. So let us understand each source in detail. First one is a cash management. What does cash management talk about? See, cash management does nothing but management of cash, how you are going to control in such a way that it should ensure the high liquidity and low opportunity cost, or a kind of the cash cost, where cash is that it is one of the current assets of a business, whereas a business concern should always keep the sufficient cash for meeting the obligations, the day-to-day obligations. So any shortage of cash, it is going to hamper the operation of a concern, isn't it? And any excess of it, it is going to be unproductive, right? So cash is very most productive of all the current assets what you have, right? So we have objectives, that is to make cash payments, of course, yes, so where the payments to be made on time, and to maintain the minimum cash reserves, of course, is that's how you are going to meeting the factor of the liquidity. Then you have certain motives, like the firm's need for cash, they may be attributed in terms of transaction motive or precautionary. Transaction is something, see, a firm needs cash for making transaction, for what it is, to run the day-to-day operations. That talks about the transaction motive. See here, the cash is needed to the firm in order to make the payments of the dividends, of course, yes, for the shareholders, any kind of expenses, the taxes, right? So the need for holding cash, it is going to arise because the cash receipts and the cash payments are not perfectly balanced. So sometimes what happens, cash receipts, it exceeds the cash payments, or cash payment, it might exceed the cash receipts. So striking of the balance between both is really very important. The next step, you have a precautionary motive, where precautionary, as the name itself tells, where the firm has to keep a portion of its, the amount of the funds what it has accumulated, in order to meet the various contingencies, any kind of a risk or the losses, or what do I say, the any kind of uncertainties if it faces, then it has to keep the cash, like through though cash inflow and outflows are like anticipated, but these may be like a vary in these kind of estimates. So in such situation, a firm should should keep some cash for in order to meet such kind of circumstances or the contingencies. Then you have second type, that is accounts receivable management. What does accounts receivable management talk about? It is a decision where making the process which takes into the account the creation of debtors, which will result in maximum return of the firm. See, this is nothing but where maintaining of the accounts receivable at an optimum level. Optimum level is where it talks about the level where profit is more and the cost incurred is less. This talks about the accounts receivable management. So we have examples like debtors, bills receivable, book debts, receivables, right? So we have certain factors that which affects the accounts receivable. First up is the volume of credit sales, where see, this is the first factor, like which increases or decreases the size of the receivables. Like if a concern sells only cash basis, then there will be no receivables. The higher the part of credit sales out of a total sales, so figures of receivables will be more, or the vice versa. That's how things are going to work out here. Credit policy, it is going to affect the size of the accounts receivables, and a kind of liberal credit policy, it would result in more account receivables. So a kind of rigid credit policy, it would result like a less account receivables as well. Next up, you have terms of transfer, where it talks about the credit terms, such as have the the period what the firm allows, and what's the rate of discount allowed to customer, right? Of course, it is going to affect the size, that is with respect to the accounts receivables. And what, if credit period allowed is more than the receivables, then will be more, and it will be vice versa. Next up, you have expansion plans, where see, when a company or concern wants to expand its activities, or it will have to enter into new markets in order to attract new customers, it would give the incentives, that is in form of the credit facilities. So the period of credit can be, like reducing when the firm, when it is able to get the permanent customer, isn't it? So in the early stages of expansion, more credit becomes of course essential, and the size of receivables will also be more. Next up, you have relation with profits, where the credit policies, they are followed with an intention to what, increase the sales behind a point, and because it will bring in the more profit, isn't it? So the increase in profits will be followed by an increase in the size of the receivables, right? So next up, you have the credit collection efforts, where you know the firm, it should send a periodical reminder to the customers, like, if they fail to pay, meet the obligations on time, right? So whereas if adequate attention is not paid towards the credit collection, then the concern can, land itself in a serious financial problem. Like there can be a financial insolvency, there can be a, financial distress, right? So it's very important that they should be follow up on the credit collections. Then the habits of customers talks about, habits is nothing but we're talking about the payment, from payment viewpoint, whereas it is going to affect the size of accounts receivables. And the customer maybe, he may be in the habit of delaying the payments even though they are financially very sound, doing absolutely well. So the concern of the firm should remain, like, in touch with such customers, and they should make them realize, the urgency of the need, what they have to pay, right? Next up, you have competition. See, if a firm is having a competitive environment, definitely it will have liberal credit policy, and this is going to increase the size of the receivable. See, they compete with the object of purchasing sales, and the easy credit, terms become inevitable. That's how things are going to work. Then you have location, where, if the firm, are located in far off places, what is going to happen? They are forced, like, to adopt the credit policies, and that which attracts the customers if the product is exclusive, isn't it? And the location will not be a problem at all. And in such case, the firm can, adopt a strict, or a kind of, what do I say, the rigid credit policy, and that is going to reduce the account receivables as well. Last point, you have new products, where new products, it introduces, the firm has to extend the liberal credit policy till such time, the product catches the market, and even afterwards also the policy has to continue, isn't it? That is to maintain the customers, and naturally what is going to happen, the increase will be there in the size of the, the account receivables, right? So these are the several factors that which influences, the account receivable. Next up, we have inventory management, the third tool. What is inventory management is all about? See, it refers to determining and maintaining the optimum level, the best level of investment, how you are going to handle, that is in form of inventory. So objectives ensures, the continuous supply of raw materials. That is very important when you are running your business, when you are into the production. You need to take care of this particular working capital management with respect to the supply of raw materials, and sufficient stock of raw materials in the periods of short supply. So always there should be something like, you need not, store the excess amount of inventories. You have to see there according to your plan, according to the availability, demand, supply. You need to produce, you need to store it. And sufficient maintaining of sufficient stock of finishing goods for smooth sales, of course, yes, that could be one of the objective. And minimizing the carrying cost, right, that the company has to take care of, and keeping the investment in inventories and at a, the optimum level. Again, of course, it matters a lot, right? So it is something where you are going to manage or maintain the optimal level of the investment in an organization, right? So that's how the things are going to work here. So we have techniques of inventory management there. So the first step what we have is determining the stock level. What is this stock about? See, it is one of the tools, through which the inventories are maintained, like, they are by maintained by fixing the different levels, like reorder level, maximum level,